Hey YouTube, it's Eggman here. How many bloody times have you heard a theist say something like this?
Well, if you don't believe in God, then where do you get your morality from?
Yep. We've all heard derivatives of this from the likes of douchebags like William Lane Craig, Ravi Zacharias, etc., etc. Indeed, Christians like to bleat this like the sheep that they are ad nauseum. I know this is a tired topic, but bear with me, okay? Now, I've heard some needlessly ornate rebuttals to this. But as most of you know by now, Eggman don't go in for all that fancy book learning. I'm a pretty simple guy, and I'm going to give y'all some common sense reasoning here, okay?
When asked, where do you get your morality from?
I usually give a quick answer from the same place you do, myself. And today, I'm going to prove it to you. Now, my morality, as I said, is from myself. Essentially. It's more complicated than that, but the bottom line is, I assess situations and make moral decisions based on my experience, and I judge something to be immoral or moral. I'm the filter. Now, many theists, especially Christians and Muslims, subscribe to the idea of divine command theory. Now, in a nutshell, divine command theory says that God defines what is moral and immoral. Therefore, if God commands something, it is therefore moral by definition. Now, I'm going to disregard for a moment here that God's existence has yet to be established, and so no one's in a position to say what God has or has not said, at least from a scriptural perspective. But let's just deal with the claim itself. Let me give Mr. Hypothetical Christian a hypothetical scenario. Let's say one day Mr. Hypothetical Christian is in prayer, and as he's praying, all of a sudden, he's blinded by a light, and he hears a booming voice, and it says, "Mr. Christian."
Yes, Lord? Is that you speaking to me in an audible voice?
Yes, it is.
What an honor, Lord!
Mr. Christian, there is an old woman named Velma Johnson. She lives at 736 Audubon Street in your hometown. I am commanding you to go and buy her a bouquet of flowers, deliver them to her, and tell them I asked you to do this. I promise you will be blessed. I, the Lord, have spoken.
Oh, wow, Lord! I can't believe this. This is incredible. Thank you.
So then Mr. Hypothetical Christian goes and does exactly that. He goes and buys a bouquet of flowers and brings them to Mrs. Johnson. Now, upon hearing that God asked Mr. Hypothetical Christian to bring her the flowers, Mrs. Johnson is elated. She starts crying. They embrace and start praising God together. Now, Mr. Christian, granted, you may never have experienced anything like this, but would you say that this is a reasonable scenario I've drawn out here? That if, in fact, you heard that voice, you would do that, right?
I suppose so. Yeah, that sounds good. Certainly it would be pretty amazing to hear God's voice audibly. I mean, he usually doesn't work that way, but yeah, I mean, that would be wonderful, sure. What a faith-affirming thing that would be.
Let me give you a different scenario. Suppose, same day, you're praying. Same thing, blinding light, booming voice. Only this time, here's what you hear. Mr. Christian.
Yes, Lord? Oh my gosh, are you speaking to me audibly?
Yes, Mr. Christian. There is a man living in Van Nuys, California, whose very life is an affront to me. He has done wickedness in my sight and is very dangerous. I have chosen you as my emissary of divine justice. Go now and find Mr. Edgar Schnorgelduff. He lives at 129 Cedar Street in Van Nuys. Find him and kill him by whatever means necessary. Tell no one of your quest. Once his life is at an end, I will see to it that the authorities do not suspect you, and great will your reward be in heaven. I, the Lord, have spoken.
Huh?
So, okay, Mr. Hypothetical Christian, now I pose you this second question. Would you do that?
Nuh-uh.
No? Why not? Are you saying God is wrong? Or is asking you to do something immoral?
No, you don't get it. God would never command you to do an evil action like that.
Really? But you just heard a booming voice. You saw a blinding light. There's no one else in your house. Clearly it's God speaking to you, asking you to do this, right?
No, you don't get it, Mr. Atheist. The point is that even if I heard the moving voice and all that, then it wasn't God. It was a demon posing as God because he asked me to commit a wicked action, a crime, murder. What's wrong with you, atheist?
Thank you. You've just proven my point. Did you catch it? When Mr. Hypothetical Christian was asked to bring flowers to Mrs. Johnson, he was enthralled that God had chosen him to speak to audibly. He immediately went and did exactly as he was told, brought her the flowers, and it was an incredible faith-affirming event. They were crying, praising God, and so on, right? But when Mr. Hypothetical Christian was asked to go kill Edgar Schnorgelduf, he then does not do what he's asked, and in fact says that the booming voice was not God, but a demon in disguise, because God would never ask him to commit such a crime. Alright, so let's distill this down now. Booming voice says, give flowers to old lady. Good. Must be God. I'm going to do it. Booming voice says, go kill a man. Not good. Must be not God, but a demon in disguise. Not going to do it. Well, Mr. Hypothetical Christian, you just used your own moral faculties to assess a situation and make a moral decision, didn't you? Therefore, I'm correct by saying you and I use the same moral barometers. That's why you are baseless by saying to me that as an atheist, I have no basis for my morality. I have the same fucking basis that you do. And something else I want to add. I don't just, just make moral decisions based on how I feel on any given day. No. I have my whole life experience, all that I've seen in my short 32 years on this planet, but I also have history, I have other people's experiences to go on, and collectively we can come to an understanding as to what we think is going to be good for everyone and what is going to be bad. And you know what? A lot of shit is very complicated, and it's not easy to always know what is the fully moral decision and what is the immoral decision. And but you know what though? By and large, we do pretty much agree. Fact is, I think it's pretty simple. Whatever causes the least amount of suffering, as much as it depends on you, do that. Whatever's going to bring joy and happiness to people, do that. Whatever's going to cause harm to any sentient being, either animals or human beings, avoid that as much as possible. Now granted, it's not always easy to do this, and it's not always easy to know which is going to result in those things. But that should be what we all strive to do. And if you need to be told why we should even do that, why suffering is bad and joy is good, you're a fucking sociopath, and I've got no time for you. So, just something to think about. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.